"I'll rest when I'm dead" was Shia's catchphrase. She said that to concerned colleagues passing by her cubicle at the end of the workday. She said that to the cleaning lady on the weekend when she was finishing whatever she could during the week. She said that at the start of her shift, despite everyone knowing she did not start until another hour. And today was no different when everyone saw her click-clacking away on her computer. Except she shouldn't be at the office today. She should be in a coffin, buried on top of a hill where she looked at the highway, where all her colleagues would pass to the office. Everyone held their breath as she types away at her desk, occasionally picking up the phone to answer clients as if she could not rest. Her words were slurred, but the office knew what she was saying. "Hello, customer service, Shia speaking, how can I help you?" No one dared to stop her. When death couldn't make her rest, what made mere mortals to do so? Her boss paid no mind. He was the one putting piles and piles of binders on her desk, sending cases to her email, making her follow up and write and call and smile and talk, then write and call and check her emails and talk and on and on and on and on. As if he was not aware of her current situation. Every second of their shift was filled to the brim. Even a quick trip to the bathroom or a lunch break would be a waste of time when there was a mountain of work waiting for her to finish before the week ends. And she didn't complain. She kept working and working, as if the still heart in her chest wasn't telling her to stop. Shia's neighbors found her dead in her apartment on a Wednesday night, an accident where she slipped and hit the back of her head on her kitchen table corner. She lied on the floor for 8 hours before anyone found her body. Everyone in her department was invited to the funeral. She lied in a coffin for everyone to see her one last time. She had her hands on her chest, face neutral. She didn't smile much other than to make herself sound enthusiastic for her customers. Her colleagues learned that pretty early on. Shia's corpse lying in a coffin made her look like she was taking a nap, and they began to think that she was. Everyone held their breath as they leave for the day. All the while, Shia continues to type away on her computer. There were still files on her table after all. Her department wondered if she left the office at all the next day. Her deadly focus was still on her computer screen, wearing the same clothes as the day before. Her fingers never slowed on the keyboard.
"This is concerning, no?"
Someone whispered to the other cubicle.
"Yeah, this isn't right."
The other cubicle whispered back as the keyboard clicked in the background.
"Should we talk to the boss?"
Another cubicle whispered into the conversation.
"Do you think he cares? He literally put more files on her table yesterday."
One of them argued.
"Well, maybe he didn't realize? Do you think he'll believe us?"
Better than not trying. So one of them walked into the boss's office to tell him about Shia. "She's dead?" The colleague nodded. "Well, she doesn't look dead." The boss went back to his screen. Everyone knew there were only social media forums on it. "Sir, we went to her funeral last weekend." "And she didn't invite me? Wow," was his response. The colleague paused at the audacity before continuing. "Sir, maybe we should do something about this. Shia shouldn't be working even after death." "Why? She's doing great." Boss made a face that said, "Don't be ridiculous." "Yeah, but she's dead. We saw her getting buried. She's not supposed to be here." "If she can work, she should be here. All those files aren't going to clear up themselves." "But she's dead." "And you're alive and wasting my time," Boss responded. "Look at her. She's dead and still working. What about you? What am I paying you here to work for?" Many unspeakable words came to the colleague's mind, but he knew better than to let them out. He must have taken the colleague's silence as agreement and continued. "I don't care if she's dead. If she's working, she's more useful than you lot who tries to get away from working all the time." Another stretch of silence went on. The colleague tried to formulate another argument to better his stance, but was cut off. "What are you still standing here for? Get back to work and be more like Shia. She has a love for the company when you just want to find excuses." Boss shooed the colleague back to his desk, so he walks back dejected. Everyone around the office crowded him when he returned, and he shared the response. Groans and gasps came from the huddle, all seemingly disappointed by Boss's answer, even though they knew this would be the outcome. Outside of the huddle was Shia working tirelessly on her computer and Jack on the other side of the office. He didn't like gossip, and he didn't like interaction. He thought it was a waste of time. He liked Shia a lot, actually. He thought she put the right mind into the work, because unlike everyone else in the office, she got the grind. The harder you work, the better you would be seen, and the better you would be seen, the quicker you can get a promotion. One day, he would be sitting at boss's place. He would rest when he's dead. He would rest when he got that promotion. He would rest until he is at the top. He didn't know when that would happen, but it would. He just needed to work. He would rest when he gets that dream position. Until then, he would not stop. He blinked to stay focused as his head got dizzier and ignored the chest pain he's been having since lunchtime. He could put that aside. Time didn't wait for him to get better. And time indeed did not wait. The office received a notice that Jack had died from a heart attack a week after his absence. Most of the office were not invited to the funeral because apparently Jack did not like any of them. But frankly, no one liked him either, so it's fair. What was not fair was that Jack was not noticed by boss even after he died. That promotion Jack so desperately wanted had never crossed his mind. He barely remembered who Jack was to begin with. If Jack knew what boss really thought of him, or the lack of, he would be rolling in his grave, fuming. Perhaps that's why, 2 weeks after his absence, Jack's rotting body dragged itself back to his table, clicking away on that keyboard, as if he could not rest after he's dead, matching the rhythm of Shia. The office was once again baffled at this supernatural sight. Some were tempted to call the church to hold an exorcism to help these poor souls find rest. However, when boss caught wind of this idea, he quickly shut it down and made a rule to never bother the dead from working. The office is more efficient this way, boss explained. His voice was disturbingly proud. They don't need to rest at all when they're dead. Everyone in the office could feel the dread as the 2 corpses worked while they looked for a solution for them. Amelie could feel the dread as well, as she hid a cough into her sleeve. She'd been feeling weak and feverish all week, but she put on the mask and continued to come to work. Her family needed her money to keep going, and she had used up all her paid leave of the year. She couldn't afford to take a break again. Shia and Jack worked adjacent to her cubicle, and the unnerving reminder of their dead corpses sent chill down her spine when she looked from her computer. She couldn't rest, not when there were people depending on her, but she didn't want to end up like her coworkers either. Her body would become a slave to the office, yet there was too much to lose if she took a break, so she tried to focus and continues working. But when Amelie walked out of her cubicle at the end of the day, there was a sway in her step, and in the back of her mind, she thought she would come back to work even if she did not wake up ever again.